Welcome back. Today in our Sunday Spotlight, summer concerts and confirmation that The Boss is indeed coming to Connecticut in 2023. Back in June, Live Nation's Jim Koplik was on the program, and he hinted we might see Bruce Springsteen here next year. Well, we were going to re-air that interview with Jim today, but we decided let's get a new one to get the Bruce update and hear about the concerts still to come this summer and fall. No one loves music more than my former morning news co-anchor, Nicole Nalepa. She was nice enough to get us that update. Nicole, take it away.
Thanks, Eric. Jim Koplik of Live Nation is now joining us. So, Jim, when we last spoke to you, you said Bruce Springsteen was maybe coming to Connecticut in 2023. Now we know that's a done deal. It's happening. And this is Bruce's first Connecticut show in what, 7 years?
Yes, 2016 was the last time we played Connecticut. So it will be 7 years because it's happening in 2023.
And a lot of people are excited about that announcement when it came out, as you can imagine. It was nice that you hinted it and nice to see it come to fruition.
Yes, and a lot of people bought tickets. It sold out very, very quickly. And, you know, it will be a great show. My opinion, it's the best live performer in the history of rock and roll.
And you have a lot of rock and rollers that are going to be coming to Connecticut in the summer, in the fall. Are there any big shows that have already sold out that people should kind of be aware of?
Well, we do have a lot of shows. Morgan Wallen playing at Xfinity in Hartford has been sold out since the first day that we put it on sale. That's 25,000 tickets, and that's on August 12th. Rod Stewart at Mohegan Sun's already sold out. Santana at Mohegan Sun is already sold out. Steely Dan down in the Hartford Healthcare Amphitheater in Bridgeport's already sold out. So there are a lot of tickets that get sold out in advance. So I urge people, when they hear about concerts, they should go out and buy the tickets.
And I saw that Demi Lovato's coming to the Oakdale in October. We have Jason Mraz coming to the Hartford Healthcare Amphitheater in Bridgeport in August. And then there are a lot of retro acts also coming to the state. You know, Ringo Starr, the Doobie Brothers, Earth, Wind and Fire, Alice Cooper, just to name a few, of course. What is bringing back this surge of retro performers, would you say?
I think it's the fans that really grew up on that music when there was no internet, no video games, no other interests in culture other than the music that they gave us. If you're looking at all the artists you mentioned, it was, you know, in the 90s and the 80s. And I think music was the most important part of their lives. And that has ingrained their interests right through here we are in 2022. And they still draw a lot of people. They still sell out. And thankfully, they all have gray hair like me now.
Gray hair, but they have great stories to tell. Isn't that right?
Oh, yeah. We keep those secret. Otherwise, we might get arrested. We don't want to have that happen. Go out loud. That's for sure.
And you've had such a legendary career. Are there any stories that you would be willing to share maybe with us that really stick out?
Well, it's interesting. Yeah, there are certainly lots of stories. There's the famous brown M&M story with Van Halen, that they wanted to make sure there were no brown M&Ms backstage. All other colors are acceptable, and that's a true story. And I never minded it because they all taste the same to me. So I went home with a bag of brown M&Ms every night that I had Van Halen. So that was a lot of fun. And then I would think that you know, people tell me to keep writing a book, and I don't want to write a book because there's too many secrets to tell, and I think that's invading their privacy. So I tend to keep them to myself, and you know, I guess I'll take them to my grave because I want to try to keep it a secret. We all had a lot of fun. We all did things that we would never do now that we did then, and you know, we keep that quiet.
And when you think about, you know, with social media these days, right, it's almost like you can't escape anything now. But that is nice. That's a good point to say that, you know, there are things that you're just going to let it live in the past. You're going to relish in the memories and keep quiet.
Yeah, because it is social media. And one said something about Axl Rose and how late he always was in getting to the Guns N' Roses concerts, and I never wanted to promote him again. It was just so annoying to me. And it got right out on social media. I got lambasted by the public, and then I got lambasted by my boss for saying something like that. And now since I promoted Guns N' Roses shows, so I learned a lesson, that's for sure.
And you mentioned Axl Rose, so from the 80s, 90s, 2000s, there's also some other big names that are going to be making a stop here in Connecticut, too. Could you rattle off a few of those for our audience?
Oh, sure. We have Pitbull coming to Mohegan Sun. That already is sold out also. We have Darius Rucker coming down to Bridgeport at the Amphitheater in Bridgeport, a show that I particularly love, the Beach Boys and the Temptations together. Don't know if they've ever really played that often together. And that's coming to Bridgeport on August 19th. That's really my speed. So there are a lot of good shows. Goo Goo Dolls, and as I mentioned, Morgan Wallen, which will be the biggest show of the summer.
Wow. And last question, are there any other big acts that we could see here in 2023, 2024 that you're still working on?
Well, I just started working on Dave Matthews returning to Hartford in 2023. I actually started working on it yesterday. He played Xfinity back in June, and they called up yesterday, and we're looking at some June dates for 2023. So that's something new that we're just starting to work on.
All right, Jim Koplik of Live Nation, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us once again, and we're really excited about the concert lineup that you have in store for us this summer and fall.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.
Eric, back to you.
All right, thank you to Nicole and Jim. We have a little extra time to share a feel-good story for you this morning. It's an update on a dog from Derby that's found a new family after being shot multiple times back in April. He's been in recovery for months and had to even have one of his paws amputated. Here's a quick excerpt from a piece Channel 3's Audrey Russo did earlier this month with the family who took him in.
And instantly, I was like, we want to take this dog, we want to give him a loving home, we have kids, we have another dog.
All the factors seem to add up right. Police officers Dan and Victoria Loris took him in for a trial and found their calculations were correct.
We were very nervous with fireworks, we were really nervous with the motorcycle, with a lot of sounds. He does not care about anything.
Signing the adoption papers, Sonda got a fitting new name, Sheriff.
I was a former canine handler for 5 years, and it's like he knows it. So we just have a bond, like we were just meant to be together.
That is a good boy right there, and a nice family for taking him in. That is CT22 for this week. We hope you enjoyed our Best Of show. We will post those books that Luann Rice was talking about on my Facebook page. If you want some suggestions for summer reading, go there and check them out. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll have an all-new edition of CT22 next Sunday morning.